Here. Did you expect this move from the Golden Knights so quickly, saying, Torts, thank you for your service?
I don't know if I expected it so quickly, Erica, but I think we did expect that that was the likeliest outcome. I mean, the more he won, you're sitting there and you're saying, how can they make a change? He obviously did a really good job with this team. But when he took it, he was told, and he admitted this just before the Stanley Cup Final, he was told that he would be their coach for the rest of the season, and then we'll see. Now, it was believed that the Golden Knights had a plan beyond this season, and we'll get to that in a second, but I did wonder if Vegas had won the Stanley Cup and beaten Carolina, could they still make a change and go to somebody else? I believe Tortorella still wants to coach. He's made that very clear to me in a couple of different conversations, but I'm not surprised they made the change. I don't know if I was expecting it this quickly. Now,
nobody expected this. Just when NHL fans thought the biggest story of the offseason was over, Elliotte Friedman stepped in and revealed details that have everyone talking. A coach who helped lead a team to the Stanley Cup Final is suddenly out. New questions are appearing every day, and the truth may be far more surprising than fans expected. But what Friedman said next changed everything. The NHL world is still trying to understand one of the most shocking stories of the offseason. John Tortorella is no longer the head coach of the Vegas Golden Knights. On the surface, that may not sound unusual. Coaches leave teams every year, but this situation is completely different. Tortorella did not leave after a losing season. He did not leave after missing the playoffs. Instead, he helped guide Vegas all the way to the Stanley Cup Final. That is exactly why fans were stunned when the news became public. Most people expected Tortorella to return next season and continue building on the success Vegas achieved. The Golden Knights had become one of the hottest teams in hockey, and much of the credit was going to their coach. Then, almost out of nowhere, the story changed. As fans searched for answers, NHL insider Elliotte Friedman began discussing the situation. Friedman explained that the timing surprised many people around the league. Coaches who take teams deep into the playoffs are usually rewarded, not replaced. That simple fact is one reason why this story has attracted so much attention. To understand why the departure feels so strange, we need to look back at how Tortorella arrived in Vegas. When he first joined the team, there were questions everywhere. Some fans believed his tough coaching style would help the Golden Knights. Others were not so sure. Tortorella has always been known for demanding hard work, discipline, and accountability. His style is not for everyone. But once he arrived, the results quickly started showing up. Vegas became more organized. The team looked stronger defensively. Players appeared more focused, and confidence started growing throughout the locker room. Week after week, the Golden Knights kept improving. What looked risky at first was beginning to look like a brilliant move. Immediately, speculation exploded across the hockey world. Fans wanted answers, analysts wanted explanations, and insiders started digging deeper into the story. That is when Friedman became one of the key voices, helping people understand what might be happening behind the scenes. According to Friedman, one important question involves the Golden Knights themselves. Was this decision part of a larger plan? Vegas has built a reputation for making aggressive moves. The organization is always looking for ways to improve. Because of that history, some people believe management may already know who they want as the next coach. That possibility has created a brand new layer of mystery. If Vegas already has a replacement in mind, it could mean this decision was being discussed long before fans heard about it. While there is no confirmed evidence showing exactly how everything unfolded, the timing has certainly raised eyebrows around the league. Another major talking point involves Tortorella's future. Friedman and other insiders know that experienced coaches rarely stay available for long. Tortorella has won games, reached the playoffs, and built a respected career in the NHL. Because of that, many people expect other teams to show interest if he decides to continue coaching. One rumor that has attracted attention involves the Toronto Maple Leafs. Discussions around the league have connected Tortorella's name to coaching speculation involving Toronto. At this point, nothing has been confirmed. However, whenever a coach with Tortorella's experience becomes available, teams looking for leadership naturally become part of the conversation. For fans, that only adds more excitement to an already fascinating story. Could Tortorella quickly find a new opportunity? Could another contender believe he is the missing piece needed to compete for a championship? Right now, those questions remain unanswered. Meanwhile, the Golden Knights face important decisions of their own. The team still has championship expectations. Players, fans, and management all want to compete for another Stanley Cup. That means the next coaching hire could shape the future of the franchise for years to come. As more information becomes available, one thing remains clear. Elliotte Friedman's comments have reminded everyone that this story is far from finished. The departure of John Tortorella is not just another coaching change. It is a mystery that continues to grow with every new report and every new rumor. The biggest question still remains unanswered. Why would a coach who helped lead a team to the Stanley Cup Final suddenly be gone? Until fans receive a clear answer, the speculation will continue. And as the hockey world waits for the next chapter, everyone will be watching both Vegas and John Tortorella very closely.
Craig, there is a lot going on with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Management, coaching, roster. But the one big question is, besides the number one pick overall, what change do the Leafs have to make sure they can turn things around next season?
Something big is happening around the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the hockey world is paying attention. Reports, rumors, and growing talk about major changes are spreading fast. The future of this team may look very different soon. Behind the scenes, important decisions are being discussed, and the next move could send shockwaves across the NHL. The Toronto Maple Leafs are entering one of the most important offseasons the franchise has seen in years. After another disappointing season, the pressure on the organization has reached a new level. Fans expected this team to compete with the best teams in hockey, but once again, the results left many people frustrated. Toronto has never lacked talent. The team has star players, experienced veterans, and one of the most passionate fan bases in sports. Every year begins with hope. Every year brings excitement. But after years of falling short of expectations, many people believe the organization can no longer continue with the same approach. That is why this offseason has become such a major story. Reports suggest that management is carefully examining every part of the roster. While no major moves have been officially announced, the message is clear. The Maple Leafs appear ready to consider significant changes if they believe those changes can improve the team's future. A big reason for the growing attention is the arrival of general manager John Tortorella. New leadership often brings new ideas. New ideas often bring difficult decisions. Many fans believe Tortorella was brought in to help guide the organization in a different direction after years of frustration. Whenever a new general manager takes over, one question always follows. Will he keep the current roster together, or will he make bold moves to reshape the team? Right now, that question is creating endless discussion among Maple Leafs fans. The answer could determine the future of the franchise. One of the biggest names connected to recent speculation is Morgan Rielly. For many years, Rielly has been one of the faces of the organization. He has been a leader on and off the ice and has earned the respect of teammates and fans alike. His connection to the franchise runs deep. One player who remains central to Toronto's future is Auston Matthews. Reports indicate that Matthews is still viewed as the foundation of the franchise. As one of the league's biggest stars, he remains a key part of the organization's long-term plans. That reality shapes every discussion about the future. If Matthews remains the centerpiece, then management must figure out how to build the strongest possible team around him. That challenge is easier said than done. Winning in today's NHL requires depth, balance, strong defense, reliable goaltending, and smart roster construction. Many fans believe Toronto has reached a critical moment. They have watched talented teams struggle to achieve postseason success. They have seen excitement turn into disappointment. Because of that history, supporters are demanding real progress rather than more promises about future potential. This growing frustration helps explain why every report is receiving so much attention. Fans want proof that management understands the problems. They want to see action. They want confidence that the organization is committed to building a team capable of competing for championships. Beyond individual players, Toronto is also evaluating the overall structure of the roster. Every successful team constantly reviews its strengths and weaknesses. That process includes examining contracts, salary cap space, player development, and long-term planning. The Maple Leafs appear to be doing exactly that. Some hockey analysts believe only minor adjustments are needed. Others believe bigger moves may be necessary. That difference of opinion is part of what makes this story so interesting. Nobody outside the organization knows exactly what management is thinking, which keeps speculation alive. The coaching situation has also become part of the conversation. Whenever a team fails to meet expectations, questions naturally arise about leadership and direction. Fans often wonder whether changes behind the bench could help unlock better results from the players already on the roster. As the offseason continues, every statement from team executives will be closely watched. Every rumor will be discussed. Every report will be analyzed. The spotlight on Toronto is brighter than ever because so many people believe this summer could shape the future of the franchise. What makes this situation especially important is that Toronto still has talented players capable of helping the team succeed. This is not a complete rebuild. Instead, it appears to be an organization searching for the right formula to finally turn talent into lasting success. That search will not be easy. Every move carries risk. A successful decision could improve the roster and strengthen the team's future. A mistake could create new challenges. That is why management must carefully evaluate every option before making any major decision. For now, fans can only watch and wait. The rumors continue, the speculation continues, the conversations continue, but one thing is becoming increasingly clear. The Toronto Maple Leafs appear determined to take a hard look at their future and make decisions they believe will improve the team. Whether those decisions involve roster changes, player movement, coaching adjustments, or something completely unexpected remains to be seen. What is certain is that this offseason has become one of the most important periods in recent franchise history. The pressure is high. The expectations are even higher. Fans are waiting for answers, and the hockey world is watching closely. If the reports and speculation are pointing in the right direction, the biggest headline of Toronto's offseason may still be waiting to arrive.
The NHLPA has told the NHL they want to go through with an investigation into Mike Babcock before he can be hired by the Edmonton Oilers. We get the latest Wednesday from our hockey insider Pierre LeBrun. The NHL is moving ahead with its investigation on Mike Babcock and events in Columbus. Darren Dreger adds this: there's no timeline on how quickly this can be carried out. The Oilers are aware of this. Players involved, etc. in 2023 will have to be interviewed. If Babcock were to back out at this stage, a league source says there would be no reason to investigate.
Everything looked finished. The Edmonton Oilers appeared ready to make a major move that could change the future of the franchise. Then, without warning, a new development stopped everyone in their tracks. Suddenly, fans, players, and hockey insiders were all talking about the same thing. What seemed like a simple coaching search has now turned into one of the biggest NHL stories of the offseason. The Edmonton Oilers entered this offseason with one clear goal. They needed to find the right coach to help the team take the next step. After another disappointing end to their season, there was pressure on the organization to make a strong decision. For a while, it looked like the Oilers had found their answer. Reports began linking the team to veteran coach Mike Babcock, a name that hockey fans know very well. Mike Babcock has one of the most successful coaching resumes in NHL history. He won a Stanley Cup with the Detroit Red Wings and spent many years coaching some of the league's biggest stars. His experience, leadership, and history of winning made him an attractive option for a team that wants to compete for a championship right now. For many Oilers fans, the idea made sense. The team has elite talent, and bringing in an experienced coach seemed like a logical move. But then, the story took an unexpected turn. As reports about Edmonton's interest in Babcock continued to spread, the NHL Players Association stepped into the spotlight. Instead of simply allowing the hiring process to move forward, the union reportedly called for a review of Babcock's past controversies before any final decision could be made. Suddenly, what looked like a routine coaching search became one of the biggest stories in hockey. The reason goes back to events that happened during Babcock's short time with the Columbus Blue Jackets. In 2023, concerns were raised by players regarding interactions involving personal phone photos. The situation quickly became a major topic across the league. Soon after, Babcock resigned from his position before coaching a regular season game for Columbus. Even though several years have passed, that controversy has never completely disappeared. The Oilers are not a team that can afford to waste time. They have two of the best players in the world, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Every season that ends without a Stanley Cup creates more pressure on the organization. Fans want results, management wants results, and most importantly, the players want results. That is why this coaching search matters so much. When a team is trying to win a championship, every decision is important. The head coach sets the culture, manages the locker room, and helps guide the team through difficult moments. If the Oilers choose the wrong coach, it could have serious consequences. But if they find the right coach, it could help push the team closer to the championship they have been chasing for years. The NHLPA's reported request for a review has now added another layer of uncertainty. Instead of focusing only on hockey decisions, the conversation has shifted toward trust, leadership, and player relationships. Around the league, many fans and analysts are debating whether bringing Babcock back would be worth the risk. Some supporters believe his experience could be exactly what Edmonton needs. They point to his winning history and his ability to manage talented teams. They argue that successful coaches are difficult to find and that the Oilers should focus on results. Others see the situation very differently. They believe that modern NHL locker rooms require strong communication and strong relationships between coaches and players. For them, any concerns raised by players deserve serious attention. That is one reason why the NHLPA's involvement has become such a major talking point. As the debate continues, Oilers fans have found themselves split into different groups. Some want the organization to move forward with Babcock. Others want Edmonton to look elsewhere and avoid the controversy altogether. No matter which side fans support, one thing is clear. This story is no longer just about hiring a coach. It is about the direction of the entire franchise. For now, many questions remain unanswered. Will the Oilers continue pursuing Mike Babcock? Will concerns from the past affect the final decision? And how will players inside the organization view whatever choice management ultimately makes? The answers could shape Edmonton's future for years to come. What seemed like a simple coaching search has turned into one of the biggest offseason stories in hockey. The spotlight is now firmly on the Oilers, and every move they make will be watched closely. The next decision could bring stability, create more controversy, or completely change the path of the franchise. And until that decision arrives, the uncertainty surrounding Edmonton's coaching search is only getting bigger.
And when you give Mitch Marner of the world and Eichel all that much time, they're going to make you pay, and they did in the second period.
My goodness, Mitchie Marner magic. That's it, Leaves. Let's go to break.
That's the comment.
Let's go to break. I'm done.
It's the fastest hat trick in Stanley Cup Final history. Marner gets the hat trick in 6 minutes and 10 seconds.
Amazing.
In the Stanley Cup Final.
Unbelievable, actually. One of the greatest performances, one of the greatest periods in Stanley Cup Final history for sure. But you can't give Marner that much time. He had ice all over. I don't know what happened to Carolina.
A performance so incredible just changed the way hockey fans look at Mitch Marner forever. Records fell, history was made, and one superstar delivered when the pressure was at its highest. What happened on the biggest stage in hockey has everyone talking, and the full impact of this historic night is only starting to be understood. Mitch Marner has always been known as one of the most talented players in the NHL. Fans have praised his skill, vision, and ability to create big plays. But in Stanley Cup Final Game 3, Marner did something far bigger than score goals. He delivered a historic performance that may become one of the defining moments of his entire career. On the biggest stage in hockey, with millions of fans watching, Marner stepped onto the ice carrying high expectations. The Stanley Cup Final is where careers are remembered. It is where legends are created. Every shift matters. Every mistake is noticed. Every great moment becomes part of hockey history. And on this night, Mitch Marner gave fans a moment they may never forget. For years, Marner has been one of the NHL's most productive players. He has collected points, helped his teams win games, and earned the respect of teammates and opponents throughout the league. But like many star players, he has also faced criticism. Some people wondered if he could deliver his very best when the pressure reached its highest level. Those questions became louder every time the playoffs arrived. Fans wanted to see Marner take over games. They wanted to see him dominate on the sport's biggest stage. They wanted to see the type of performance that would instantly become part of NHL history. That is exactly what happened. From the beginning of Game 3, Marner looked different. His confidence was obvious. His energy was high. Every time he touched the puck, it felt like something exciting might happen. Opposing defenders struggled to contain him, and his teammates seemed to feed off the energy he brought to the ice. Then came the moment that changed everything. Marner completed a historic hat trick and officially set a new Stanley Cup Final record. His 3 goals came faster than any hat trick ever recorded